Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, a great millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings be multiplied on all you sincere Aki. I'm pushing this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the men, women, and children that will receive mercy from the Lord in these last days. Shalom. It's the brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and give you warning from Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right, as you can see here, right, it says New York Home Depot hire guards and dogs to combat aggressive parking lot migrants. And, as I was reading this article, it firmly showed me, that, you got to look at this and see where this is, where things are really headed, and you got to be prepared to see that this is going to start to be a norm. You're going to start to see more hired guards with, hired guards armed with military style weapons and having dogs to combat, not only in the future aggressive parking lot migrants, but pretty much, aggressive American citizens in the near future, because this place is heading for an inevitable financial collapse. We know there's going to be famine. We know there's going to be, a financial collapse in this society, civil war. We see this society spiraling more and more out of control. And the more that people, begin to get more and more desperate, the more people lose their jobs, the more people, are struggling financially. People can't put food on the table. People can't afford food. People are going to grow very, very aggressive. People are going to grow very, very angry, very, very, desperate. And, when people are desperate, they're willing to do anything. Now, their actions can become unpredictable. And we know that when people are starving and they're dying of thirst and they just have a spirit of hopelessness upon them, hey, they don't give a damn about the next person. All right. This is survival at the fittest at that point. And you can see this already developing over there in New York on major, on many occasions. And especially a lot of these places where these migrants have been to, these sanctuary cities where these migrants are slowly starting to lose the benefits, losing their, the housing, losing, their so-called little handouts that they've been given by the Biden administration. Hey, they're growing more and more desperate. They're getting more and more, blatant with their aggressive actions, man. And a dude don't really give a damn if he's willing to do, straight up just, blatant robbery and burglaries or act of violence in the broad daylight. He just don't give a damn about any other consequences. See, but this is going to be on a major scale. And pretty soon, man, in the near future, it's not going to be safe for you women or children and shit for most men to be just out and about in the city when all hell breaks loose, because, let me get this, because like it says in the scripture, man, this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You see, when you go to that word for cold, the word is suko or psycho. It says to be made or grow cool or cold, metaphorically a waning of love, meaning that it's going to get to the point to where, people are going to ultimately just do whatever the hell they got to do to get what they need. And if that includes busting you over the head and taking what you have because they don't have the ability to get it, or they got to feed their kids, or they got to feed themselves, they're going to do it. And you see that these aggressive migrants are out in front of Home Depot, but what are you going to start doing when these same aggressive individuals are out in front of the grocery store, or outside of the liquor store, or outside of a restaurant, or outside of Walgreens, or outside of these fast food chains, lurking and prowling on people that are coming in or coming out with shit that they don't have the money to buy or access to get. It's going to be a very creepy and very scary times. You're going to have to, it's going to get to the point to where, hey, every time you step at your house, you're going to have a weapon or a gun, or, women are not going to be able to just go out and about on their own, because you're going to have a lot of predatory individuals, preying on the weak, preying on children, preying to take whatever the hell that you have. Or they might even be prepared to take you and grape you. You see, so I'm gonna read this article, and it's just showing you, you can see the little ways of how aggressive and how desperate these individuals are getting. But imagine when it gets on a mass scale, as scriptures prophesy it's going to be. It's going to be a very terrifying and very scary time. All right. It says a Home Depot in New York has hired armed security guards and canine units to protect shoppers from aggressive migrants and thieves in parking lots, and the New York Post reports. It says, according to the city councilwoman Christy Marmorito, everybody is well aware of the culture here at Home Depot, that we have day laborers just trying to make an honest living, and they just started to feel like it just started to become a little more aggressive, right? Because now you got all these different migrants that you led into this country, sitting there at the Home Depot, being mad aggressive, being mad creepy. It's going to show you in this article, man. These motherfuckers don't give a shit. They run up on you, man. And you got to be careful, because you don't know whether they're going to rob you, whether they're going to bust you in the head, whether they're going to steal your car, whether they're going to snatch your purse, whether they're going to take whatever you have inside of your shopping cart, whether they're trying to sell you shit. They're just becoming very, very aggressive. And we know eventually it's going to get to the point to where, hey, you coming out of that store, hey, you don't know what the hell could happen. They could just come and just take whatever you got and bust you upside the head. Take everything you got coming out of Home Depot and take your car. You see, but this is the times that we're in, you see? And eventually, like I said, the love of many is going to wax cold, and it's going to lead to even more crazier times. It says, where people are walking from the store with stuff in their cart, individuals were coming up to them and literally taking stuff out of their carts to help them. And they just felt very concerned, very unsafe, you see? So these niggas just bold with it. They just run up and just grab shit out of your cart. They're trying to act as if they're trying to help you put your stuff in your car, and they're expecting you to give them tips or to give them money for helping you put whatever you just brought from Home Depot in your car. And some of them are just pretending like they want to help you just so that they can rob you and take whatever you got. You just don't know. The atmosphere is unpredictable, but this is just showing you the times that we're about to ultimately enter into. This is just a small, a small visual of just how bad it's going to be when all hell breaks loose in society, man. You see, and this is why you women out here, hey, you're gonna need a man in that day. All of this feminist, all of this, I don't need a man, all of this, I'm strong, independent. Hey, when all hell breaks loose, all of that spirit and that vibration is going to go completely out the window. And like I said, it's going to be a time in here in America to where it's not going to be safe for a woman or little children to just be walking around or walking to the store or going to the grocery store or going anywhere by yourself and alone, because you're going to have men out here preying on the weak, preying on the vulnerable. And we know that women and children are the most vulnerable, especially when desperate times occur. It says, two men wearing MSA security caps and bulletproof vests with a German Shepherd in tow patrolled the Home Depot in New Rochelle on Tuesday. It's more about omnipresence, one guard said, explaining that the company was contracted a few weeks ago. It's not like we let them go bite anyone or anything. The guard said the store hired them for a number of reasons. It says it's not just because of migrants, but because of a myriad of other things too, like people breaking into cars, that kind of stuff, you see. But it's going to get to the point eventually to where they're going to be given the green light to shoot motherfuckers, to let the dogs loose. You're going to have to stop a heavy flow of migrants and desperate individuals from, doing whatever, doing what they got to do to people coming in and out of these stores that these companies are contracted to protect. It's going to get to the point to where they're going to have to bring in the military. They're going to have to bring in martial law. They're going to have summary executions and the green light to just blast, people that's just, living lawlessly in this society, man. You see, and we can see it all, bubbling up. It says a reporter for the Post observed at least 30 male migrants hovering near the doors of the Throgs Neck Bronx location, with several day laborers aggressively confronting shoppers, trying to sell them fake Apple iPods or trying to earn unsolicited tips for lifting items from shopping carts into cars. You come out and you're a woman by yourself. They literally leech onto your wagon and you're like, no, I don't need any help, said one employee. And when they're following you to your car, it's unnerving, you see, because right now, they might just trying to be to help you. They're being a little weird. They're following you, but hey, it's going to get to the point to where if you're a woman by yourself, they're going to just bust you upside your head and take whatever you got, push you to the ground, take your belongings, take your purse. And like I said, when shit gets really bad, they're going to take and grape you. You see? And this is the times that we're coming into, man. You know, this is just a microcosm of, you know, when it fully goes out of control, you can already see the mind frame and the spirit that these migrants are in. You see, these people that are desperate are already in, and it's only going to get worse. You see, it says the employee said that a female supervisor saw one of them washing his dick and balls with a water bottle in the lot, and that several women have called Home Depot customer service to complain of being robbed by migrants. I came to work one day and there had to be like 100 guys out there, she told the Post. And I'm like, oh my God, you see? 100 men. And like I said, if these guys are all migrants coming from this third world country, you know the type of mentality that they have. And a lot of them are coming here. A lot of them have, are registered rapists, murderers, gang members, probably released from prisons from wherever they came from, from their country, probably murderers, probably pedophiles. Who knows? But they're all here in these parking lots and around the country, just lurking and praying, man. And like I said, how much more you think how much crazier it's gonna get when all hell breaks loose? And they know, that the only way they're going to be able to survive is by taking what the next person has. You see, and this is all, prophecy being fulfilled, man. You see, and it's only going to get worse. Like I said, hey, it's going to get crazier. It's going to get worse. It's going to get more and more desperate out here. People, like I said, when this financial collapse hits and the dollar's no longer working, or a cyber attack comes to where people can't swipe their debit cards, or when this third world war happened and the shelves continually get more empty and the trucks ain't running and the food is not coming in, man, it's going to be complete and utter chaos going on in this society out here. And you can already see just a little bit of the mindset these people and these migrants have being here in this country. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that's the time that is coming here to Babylon the Great. Hey, these evil days are coming. Like I said, when all hell breaks loose, societal collapse happens, this civil war, the love of many waxing cold, survival of the fittest, that's when a lot of people are going to try to, get themselves right. A lot of you, Jake, are trying to try to find the prophets and the men of the Lord. You're going to try to, get with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, but it's going to be too late. The Lord has already sent out the warning. He wanted you to get right and repent before these days even came. You're not going to be able to repent and try to get right with the Most High in the midst of these evil days and these times that are coming. When you, no longer want to chase the bag, you no longer want to be a whore and a thot and a slut and a mo and a weirdo or idolatrous or a Christian or an atheist or a Muslim or Egyptologist or whatever the hell you jakes are caught up in at the moment, and not being, coming into the obedience of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, then you're going to try to, get right and try to find salvation and pray and try to pray these evil times away. But you're not going to have any hedge of protection for you, because the Lord, when he called, you refused. You denied him. Therefore, he's going to deny you when all hell breaks loose, man. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. You see, the grinders is dealing with the jobs, man. You see, people are losing their jobs. A lot of these companies are, a lot of these fast food chains are, their prices are going up because of this minimum wage. Now they're hiring robots and artificial intelligence to do their businesses. A lot of these companies are just falling, and people are not working, and it's going to get worse. People are going to continue. Jobs are going to continue to go away. Businesses are going to continue to collapse. And people's futures, when they look out the window, meaning you looking at the future, you're looking at the times ahead, is going to be very dark and bleak, because there ain't no future here in Babylon the Great, just destruction and bad times. It says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. You see? And these are the times that we're in. You know, hey, the doors being shut in the street is going to be, you saw what happened to the Dollar Tree, how they closed hundreds and hundreds of stores. How many people you think lost their, going to lose their jobs when those businesses close up? You know, you got businesses and Amazon and a lot of big companies, small companies, they're all not firing, but they're getting rid of their workers because they can't afford to stay in business anymore, you know? And these are the times that we see. And what do you see? What do you see these migrants doing at Home Depot? What the hell you think they're doing there? They're trying to earn a daily wage. They're trying to go there and find some work, you know? But when there ain't no work coming, what the hell you think they're going to start doing, man? You know? All right, let's finish this. It says, a regular customer at the store who asked to be identified only as Cheryl said she and her husband had a frightening encounter last month. A man practically runs over and he goes to point like, "Can I take the stuff?" And my husband said, "No, thank you," she recalled, noting that they had only a couple of boxes and a paint scraper. "He still keeps following, like on top of us," she said. "I said, no, thank you." When her husband turned around to open the car door, the man put his hand on one of the boxes in the cart. My husband said, "Don't touch anything," but the man didn't stop. It came to the point where they're invading personal space, touching people's belongings, just harassing, said Home Depot customer service employee Laura Ann Masioko. "I get it, you're trying to make a buck, but when it becomes aggressive and harassing, there's major issues," you see? Hey, if you think they're being like this right now while things are somewhat, normal, what do you think they're going to do when it's just complete and utter chaos? There's no 911. There's no emergency services. There's no police showing up to crimes that are being committed in these different parts of the country. They're going to be fully emboldened and fully in that spirit of grape and theft. And, their actions shall stand in their own power. Matter of fact, let me get that, man. All right. This is 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." You see, just talking about the coming civil war, you know, and we see that coming, and we see the huge division and the divide in this country. And a lot of these American people are very pissed off at the Biden administration for bringing in all of these migrants and giving them, the royal treatment, rolling out the red carpet. But the average American is living paycheck to paycheck, and they're getting their taxpayer dollars to fund and to support these migrants coming into this country, getting more assistance and more help from the government than the average American citizen can get. And now that, they're using these migrants to, they're using them for whatever they're using them for. Now they're kicking them to the curb. Now they're going to be more of a nuisance. They're going to be the people, that are adding to the crime, that are, committing more crimes, being aggressive, harassing, squatting, breaking into people's houses, smash and grabs, riding around on the scooters, stealing cell phones and purses, as these people are left in this society to just rot and to take up space and to beg and grovel for whatever they can get. It's going to cause more and more division in this country. All right. And it's going to get to the point to where, people are going to start just being armed and strapped. And the love, like I said, the love of many is going to start waxing cold, man. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men." Right. Sedition, rising up against the government's protests. You remember we just saw those migrants protesting. Where was that? Was that in New York? Because they kicked them out of the hotels. Them niggas was out there fighting in broad daylight in the middle of the streets in New York with bats and belts and knives, because one of them couldn't get inside the hotel room. They couldn't get a room, and they're getting kicked out. And now they're marching all over the fucking place, man. It's going to get worse, man. And then you're going to have the American people rising up against the government, Let Trump not get in office. Let Biden and them steal the election again, Everybody is just on edge. You see those protesters at the college, which that's all set up, They did that Free Palestine protest. It's just going to get just out of control here in this place, man. And it's only going to get worse. It says, "And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." You see? Pretty soon, these people are going to be so fed up and just so through. They're not going to listen to the authorities. They're not going to listen to the mayors or the governor or martial law. They're trying to implement martial law. People are not going to listen to those curfews because they're going to be upset. They're going to be frustrated. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be annoyed. They're going to want answers, So only thing that's going to be left is for them to uprise and to revolt and to rebel, and you're going to have a lot of anger, a lot of chaos, and you know everything that the scriptures say is going to happen. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor." You see, that's what it's going to be. That's how bad it's going to be. Nobody's going to have no pity upon their neighbor. And you see all these migrants that's out there in the Home Depot doing what they're doing. Imagine how much more when all hell completely break loose. You know, when you can't just go into the grocery store, when you can't just get water, when you can't just get food, or you know, you're in one of these states where it gets brick cold. You don't have no access to heat or jackets or things that can keep you warm. You're going to go get it by any means necessary, man. You're going to get it from the people that have it. All right. It says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." You see, because of the lack of bread. You see, that famine that is coming. What do you think people are going to do when that happens? When people get desperate and they have nothing to lose, they're going to lose it, man. You know, it's going to be like some of these movies you watch, like The Road and what else? The Book of Eli. It's going to be, a time like that, man. And if you don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai with you in that day, hey, you're through out here, man. You see, this is Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." You see, and what is Jacob's trouble? Is when all hell breaks loose in this society, man. You see, and we know that it's coming. We can see it already brewing in the background, but it's slowly coming to the forefront, But Jacob is going to be saved out of it, which is the elect of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. But we see these days vastly coming near, man. And your only salvation and deliverance and protection from it is being in the shadow of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, this is Psalms chapter 34, verse 6. It says, "This poor man cried, and Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai heard him and saved him out of all his troubles." You see, and this is talking about the elect who's going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble, who's going to be delivered from the love of many waxing cold. When the society fully collapses and all hell is breaking loose, and what I just read in Second Ezra take place, the elect are going to be saved out of it. They're going to be protected. They're going to have provision, and, the Lord's going to make a way for them to, be saved out of all of it, It says, "The angel of Yahweh, B'Shem Yahweh Shai, encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. O taste and see that Yahweh is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. O fear Yahweh, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing." You see? And that's what it's about. That's where, the elect is going to be saved and delivered from all of this chaos and these perils that are coming. But we can see it all brewing up. We can see, just through this article, just a little bit of how bad it's going to get. And this is just in front of one Home Depot. Imagine what's happening in all these other sanctuary cities in Denver, out here in California, that you don't hear about on a daily basis. All type of in Chicago, all type of shit is happening with those migrants, but they're not putting it out there on the mainstream media. It's rapes, it's murder, it's violence. The crime is increasing. Deaths is all on the rise. All type of shit is happening every single day, in this society, man, that you're not hearing about in the mainstream media. But we know it's happening, and it's happening at a very alarming rate. And it's only going to continue to rise and to get worse until we're fully in Jacob's trouble, man. So I just wanted to go into that, man. Thought that was interesting. You can definitely see where things are going and where things are headed very fast, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Until the next one, shalom.